Hey guys, Brian delivered you the goods here. Sorry that my hair is a little puffy this morning. Or late this morning, I guess you could say. I just got up like a few hours ago, and then I just noticed my nose was running, and it was just, frustrating because I was really not feeling that great this morning. But other than that, I think I had to take a Benadryl and then clear it up, and now I'm a little bit better, so I'm returning to you for for an album review this time. Sorry if my throat got a little scratchy. And this is gonna be for the last album review for this Friday's releases for Yes's new album, The Quest, that I just got done listening to. So I'm gonna discuss what I listened to for this album and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this review. Oh, sorry, my nose is still running a bit. It's really frustrating, honestly. Uh, yeah, what did I think of this album overall? It's average. Uh, in my personal opinion, I think the lead singer Davidson, his vocals are a little weird, honestly, and I'm not used to it, honestly, but I know their older stuff is pretty much a lot better, but this is it's an effort. They tried, but I personally thought it was not a bad album. It wasn't my personal favorite this year. The Ice Bridge opens up the album. I didn't like the first act of it, which is called Eyes East. I thought it was decent. I I stick by my rating, which what I gave it, which is a 4.5 out of 5. It's not my favorite song, but it's alright. Race Against Time was the next part, and that did a lot better. So did Interaction to close out the track. Dare to Know it has grown on me a bit, but not to the point where I really like it. It's just grown on me a tad bit. But there are some weird vocal pitches that John Davidson hits. And his voice is not bad, it's just I'm not really liking it as much. If you can understand where I'm coming from, in my personal opinion. Uh, Minus the Man was meh. It was an alright track. 4.5 out of 5. I'd give that one. Just some of John Davidson's pitching in that song with his vocal performance in the song is alright. Production wise and mixing wise, it's not a bad song. It's just the singing. The way the lead singer is singing the song, John Davidson. I'm not really feeling for his vocals, to be honest. In this whole album, there are certain moments in the album where it gets really good, and then it falls back down into just plain uh, staleness, I guess you could say. And this is their 22nd album. I did not know that because they've been around for since the 70s, I think. 60s or 70s, I believe. So they've been around for a long time, but maybe the 70s, I think. Uh, I think The Western Edge and Leave Well Alone were my favorite tracks, personal favorites. Future Memories was really good. I like the pitches that John Davidson lays back and uses his pretty alright singing voice, and it does a little better. I'm starting to grow accustomed to his vocals, but I wouldn't say I really like it as much because he's not in my personal opinion, I don't think he's the best vocalist, but he's alright. Um, Music to My Ears was not a bad song. He does those weird pitches with his vocals that I just can't stand. Um, A Living Island was a pretty good song, and I enjoyed that one a lot more than the last song, Music to My Ears. Then comes Sister Sleeping Soul, and that one had some cringy singing in it. Uh, Keep in mind, this is just what I'm feeling when listening to this album. And this was like a 61-minute album. I had little hope for this album being a big success, but it surprised me a little bit. Uh, Mystery Tour was not a bad song. And finally, we get to the last song, which is Damaged World. And that was not a bad way to close the album out. Not my personal favorite song, but not a bad song to close the album out. So overall, I think Yes, the Quest album was average. Not my personal favorite album this year, but it did alright. I know for some people they might say, oh, well, this is your worst review. I'm like, no, I'm just giving you my honest opinion about what I think of this, and yeah, that's the end of it. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Uh, got no hate towards you. It's just, this is what I listened to for these 11 songs, and I wasn't very impressed, but a little bit impressed from time to time. It just depends on the songs and how John Davidson is singing the songs, because there are weird moments with his voice in majority of this album. So first score, I'm going to give Yes's new album, The Quest, a 7.5 out of 10. This was average. It'll be on my decent to good albums of 2021. It might make it at a spot in the middle somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe I'll have to hear this album again, but honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of this album, but I'm just giving you my honest take on this, in my personal opinion. And keep in mind, this is just my opinion at the end of the day. You don't have to agree with me on it. It's just how I felt when I was listening to this album. It's not my personal favorite, but this was the album I was hoping would surprise me. Well, to be honest, I had little hope for this album succeeding, but uh, it surprised me a tad bit with certain songs. Like, my personal favorites would have to be Leave Well Enough Alone, The Western Edge, Future Memories, A Living Island, and Mystery Tour. After that, the rest of the album's just a bunch of cringe. But just the way, uh, I think structurally it does well, but it's the singing with John Davidson that I have a tad bit of a problem uh, with how he's singing the songs. Because he does these high pitches that I don't know if I really like. And keep in mind, I'm just expressing how I feel in this review. So yeah, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of this lengthy album review for Yes's new album, The Quest, if you've heard it. And if you like this album review, hopefully you did. I'm just giving you my honest opinion on this album. If you guys did like the album, that's great. I personally thought it was average, but that's just my opinion. Um, but if you did like this album review, hopefully you did. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. I will most likely be doing some track reviews tonight, and Coldplay's last album, Everyday Life, the re-review is going to be tomorrow, so you'll definitely see it tomorrow. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this lengthy album review. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. And I know there's going to be some people that are going to say, oh, this is not your best review. I'm like, well, you might have to find someone else to watch if you don't like my review, because I'm just giving you my honest opinion. And it's this old saying, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Uh, so yeah, this is how the world works now with YouTube and in real life all the time. Everyone's got opinion about something. So sorry, that was my Xbox telling me that my batteries are low or whatever. So I gotta change them very shortly. But I hope you enjoyed this lengthy album review for Yes is the Quest. Uh, I will return to you for more videos soon. Probably tonight, most likely. Stay safe. Take care. Hopefully you enjoyed this album review for Yes the Quest. And as always, I'll see you in my next video.